What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying your lives to the fullest today. Today we are reviewing the 2023 Ford Bronco Sport Heritage Edition. Huge thank you to Matt Newman over at Koons Ford for allowing me to do this review for you guys today. If you guys are interested in this particular Bronco Sport or any Ford product, I'll be sure to have Matt's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. Just like I start each and every one of my videos, the first thing we're going to talk about is the exterior and performance. I guess those are two things, but let's just jump right into the video. So like I mentioned, this is a 2023 Ford Bronco Sport Heritage, and this particular one has been painted in one of my personal favorites, the $995 Robin's Egg Blue. Now, full transparency is I honestly did not like this color at first. I thought it was a little girly maybe, but as I started driving it, as time went on, I started to like the color more, and now I actually really like the color. And then also, the color changes dependent on the lighting. So right now, it's kind of like a deeper baby blue, but in the direct sunlight, it's kind of more of like a whitish blue. So it's actually a pretty cool paint color, but my opinion really doesn't matter. Let's get back into the review. So this is the Heritage Edition, and this is based off of the Big Bend. Now, they do have the Heritage Edition Limited, which is based off of the Badlands, but again, this is just the Heritage Edition. So let's start over here at our headlights. So we do get LED headlights with signature lighting and automatic high beams, and then towards the bottom of your front bumper is where you'll find your LED fog lights. Now, you may be asking, well, what makes the Bronco Sport Heritage the Bronco Sport Heritage? And I will answer that question for you guys. So with the Bronco Sport Heritage, you guys do get an Oxford white grille with red Bronco lettering. Another thing I wanted to say is that you do get 6 color options with the Heritage, and this again is one of my favorites. But continuing on down, you guys do get a satin black front bumper with side marker lights, which are located just to the right of your fog light on the driver's side and to the left of the fog light over on the passenger side. These are the standard fender flares, and they are satin black, as you guys may be able to tell, but you do have 2 other fender flare options that you guys can get to give this thing a more, you know, rugged look, I guess you could say. So basically, the most aggressive fender flare that you guys can get basically has rivets. I'll display a picture of what it looks like on screen right now. But also with the Heritage Edition, you guys do get the high performance off-road stability suspension. Also with the Heritage Edition, you guys can see this is the only wheel option you guys can get, and these are 17-inch Oxford white aluminum wheels wrapped in 225/65 Continental cross contact ATR tires. Now, when I first saw this, I thought these were steel wheels, but they are actually aluminum. I was like, oh, I kind of like the steelies on this. But again, these are an aluminum wheel. Now, taking a step back, you guys might be able to see, I'm not sure how well the GoPro is going to pick it up, but you guys with the Heritage Edition get Oxford white with Bronco script pinstriping. I'm going to do the quotations because this isn't actually pinstriping. It's basically like a vinyl overlay, but it actually looks pretty cool. You guys can see it has the old Bronco lettering. Looks, again, really sweet, and you only get this with the Heritage. I think it's pretty cool, and I think it matches the Robin's Egg Blue very nicely, but again, that's just personal opinion. Then you do get a black non-functional fender vent, and then just to the right of that non-functional fender vent, you guys get satin black side view mirrors. These side view mirrors are heated, they're power adjustable, manual folding. You get your blind spot monitoring on the upper left hand side of your driver's side mirror and on the upper right hand side of your passenger side mirror. Let's do a side profile of the Bronco Sport Heritage. So just like any other Bronco Sport, you guys do get the safari style roof. But one thing I wanted to point out is this is kind of like a 3-tone, not like a 2-tone, because you have that Robin's Egg Blue on the bottom, and then halfway up, you can see from about here on back, that's all blacked out. And then at the top with the Heritage Edition, no matter what color you guys get, you get an Oxford white painted roof. So you see what I'm saying by like a 3-tone? You get the blue, you get the black, and then you get the white on top. I think it's pretty cool, but let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. But back to the roof line, again, with the Heritage, you get the Oxford white painted roof, and you get black roof rails. That is a look at the roof. You guys can see that safari style roof, that little hump right there. And working our way back here, that is what your antenna looks like. It is in black. You guys do get a capless filler neck. All you gotta do is press on that, and that will open up. That is a look at the rear wheel and tire setup. I'll do a little rear 3/4 angle of the Bronco Sport for you guys. Now, you do get LED taillights as well as white Bronco Sport lettering on your hatch. You guys can see it is blocked by the dealer plate. but that is what the lettering looks like back here. Again, I like this color because it changes and it looks different back here in the direct sunlight versus the indirect sunlight at the front. Now on the left hand side of your lift gate, you have your Ford badge. Boom, that's a look at the Ford badge. One thing I think is pretty cool is that this upper glass up top here does open. You guys can see it says glass right here, and it says door there, and then at the center is where you'll find your backup camera. But if you press the glass button, now you can open up the rear glass, which I think, again, I think that's pretty cool. You guys can let me know what you think, but also pretty cool. You get the old Bronco right there, which you can actually see out of your rear view mirror, which is how I initially noticed it, which again, I think is pretty cool. Now that rear glass is closed, that is your rear wiper. Get your third brake light up top there. Again, that is a look at the hatch. That is your backup camera. Now let's open up the hatch itself. Now with the hatch open, I guess one of the first things I wanted to point out is that you guys do get adjustable floodlights. So you got one over here, then you also get one on this side as well. And what I mean by adjustable, you can move it like that, you can move it like that, and again, this side does the exact same thing. Boom, like that, boom, like that. And then another thing that is also pretty cool is that if you guys do any tailgating, you end up buying a Bronco Sport, or you already have one and you don't know about this, you have a bottle opener right here. So if you guys have those Coca-Cola glass, I was gonna say can, but it's not a can, it's a bottle. You can pop the top off that, or if you guys drink beer, you guys have that there as well. This particular one also has been optioned with the $150 cargo management system, which is this thing right here. So if I pull up on that, that is a look at the cargo management system. Actually a pretty cool system. Also, what I wanted to point out was that old Bronco on the glass, and that is what it looks like from the inside. And then working our way back to the right hand side, you have a 12-volt power outlet located right there. You also get a spare tire, but what's interesting about the spare tire, before I show you guys, is that you remember the wheels are white, but it's like they purposely made the rear spare tire in black. So kind of funny. So maybe, you know, if you wanted to be eccentric or something, you could do black on this side and white on this side. That would be pretty cool, be kind of funny. But that's just, I just wanted to show you guys that that is spare tire is in black. Now with the Heritage itself, you guys do get these seat back utility mats, which basically are like a rubber floor mat on the back of the seat, which I think is pretty cool. You guys can see you basically pin them in right there, here. You guys kind of get the gist of what I'm talking about. But that's really about it for the back end of the Bronco Sport. I guess a couple other things is that you get these like interesting things here. I'm not quite sure what these do. You can let me know in the comments down below what they do, but I believe if I press on that now, that's how you turn the floodlights on. If I press that again, are they going to turn back off? Yes, they do. All right, and then to close the lift gate, you have a handle here, you get another handle on that side. But let's close that lift gate itself. Now this particular Bronco Sport does have the $1,145 Heritage convenience package, which gives you guys 4 parking sensors back here. So you get 1, that's 2, that's 3, and then that is 4 on that side. And then on the outer sides of your satin black rear bumper, you get side marker lights. So you get a light there, you get a light over here as well on this side, and then you get 2 reflectors at basically the center of the rear bumper. And then this particular one does come standard, or the Heritage itself does come standard with a Class 2 trailer tow package with trailer sway control. And you guys do get a 4-pin connector located here. That is a look at the trailer hitch itself. This is a Class 2 hitch, and again, this does come standard with the Heritage. And then if you guys were wondering about the max tow capacity, the max tow capacity as spec is 2,000 pounds. But let me know what you guys think of the 2023 Ford Bronco Sport Heritage. I think there are going to be 2 extremes. You're either going to like it a lot, you're going to love it, or you're going to hate it. Let me know which side of that you guys are on. Are you guys on the love it side? Are you guys on the hate it side? Let me know in the comments down below. But let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals that 1.5 liter turbo 3-cylinder that makes 181 horsepower and 190 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission for a 0 to 60 time in 5.9 seconds. If you guys were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 25 miles per gallon in the city, 28 miles per gallon on the highway for 26 miles per gallon combined with all-wheel drive. But if you guys are enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm really trying to hit 10,000 subscribers, and I cannot do that without your guys' guys' help. I'm literally only like 1,000 subscribers away from 10,000. So if you guys are enjoying the video, again, please take a second out of your day, give the video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. But let's move into the interior. Moving into the interior, this is a look at the key fob. You got your Bronco lettering on this side of it, and then you have your unlock function, your lock function, and your panic function. You do get keyless access with the Heritage, so all you got to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, put your hand behind the door handle, and the vehicle will unlock. You can also lock the vehicle by running your finger across these hash marks here. The vehicle locks. I'm not sure if you guys could hear it, but now it is locked. You can also get into the vehicle by going through this keypad here. All you got to do is memorize your key code, and that is type in the key code and you can get into the interior. If you guys want to lock the vehicle through the keypad, press the 7, 8, and 9 buttons simultaneously and the vehicle will lock. You can see now it's locked. Put my hand behind the door handle with the key fob in my hand and the vehicle will open up. Now let's take a look at the driver's side door panel. So you guys can see, you get some of that navy leather right here with some red accent colored stitching. So I do want to mention what the seats are before we kind of get into the door panel. So these are called Heather Navy Pure Cloth with plaid insert seats. So when you guys hear me refer to like the navy, this is what I'm referring to. So the color itself. So up top here, it's pretty much all like black vinyl type of material. You get some blue or that navy plastic here, black door handle unlock, and your lock functions. Pressing on that will restrict your passenger window privileges. You have your power side view mirror controls right there. And then you get an automatic down front driver window, but all the other windows are not automatic up or down. Great spot. You can set a phone here if you wanted to. All black plastic from here down. You get a little reflector, and then you get a good amount of miscellaneous storage space right next to your speaker. But let's step into the interior. So with the Heritage Convenience Package, which is an $1,145 option, you do get an 8-way power driver seat. So that is why this one has a power driver seat. This is a look at the seats themselves. Now let's step into the interior and let's see what the interior of the Bronco Sport is all about. So like I mentioned to you guys on the exterior part of the video before we just stepped in, you do get keyless access. So all you got to do is make sure you have your key fob in your pocket, push your foot down on the brake and push to start, and then the vehicle will fire up. But let's see what we have over here. So pressing on the button furthest to the left, that will basically unlock your hatch. So it's not like a power lift gate, but you press on that and all you got to do is walk around to the back and lift up the lift gate yourself. It's kind of a pointless button. I thought I'd mention it. But over here you have your headlight controls. So it's headlights off, daytime running lights on, headlights in automatic, and then that's headlights always on. Pressing on that will turn your fog lights on. Press on that again, fog lights turn back off. These buttons here, that is to brighten the gauge cluster as well as your backlit buttons. This is to dim your gauge cluster as well as your backlit buttons. You do get a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. I'm gonna close that door because it's kind of chilly outside. And this is what your steering wheel looks like. So with that Heritage Convenience Package, you guys do get a leather wrapped steering wheel. However, it is not heated. I do want to show you guys what the turn signal stock looks like. That is what the turn signal stock looks like. Pushing in on that will turn the lane keeping system on or off. Now it's back on. Let's take a listen to the turn signal itself. That is what the turn signal sounds like. And obviously on the right hand side of the steering wheel, you have your windshield wiper control stock, as well as this is to control your rear glass and your rear wiper as well. This is what your steering wheel looks like. You got your cruise control settings up top here. So from this line up is all your cruise control stuff. That's to volume down, that's to volume up, that is to mute the stereo. And then on this side, this is to speak to the vehicle, this is to go back on a track, this is to go forward on a track, this is to pick up on a phone call, this is to hang up on a phone call. And then these controls are to control your productivity screen located above these gauges down here. So this screen there. But before we get into the screen, I want to show you guys what the horn sounds like. That is what the horn sounds like on the Bronco Sport. So on the left-hand side of the gauge cluster, you have your RPM gauge. On the right-hand side of the gauge cluster, you have your speedometer. Moving down, that's your coolant temperature gauge. That's your fuel gauge. You guys can see you have a fuel pump pointing to the left-hand side of the vehicle. That means you fill the vehicle up on the driver's side. So if that little arrow right there was pointing to the right-hand side of the vehicle, that means you would fill the vehicle up on that side of the vehicle. So just something I thought I'd point out if you guys did not know that. Up top, that's your odometer. That is the current temperature outside. That is the compass. So right now we're facing east. and then that lets us know the auto stop start system is off, and then that is lane keeping system on. But again, to go throughout this screen, you use these buttons here. So let's go throughout the screen. Going down one, you go into your driver assistant stuff. That is like your media stuff, that's your phone stuff. This is your different information stuff. Then you have your trip one. This is called My View. So go up one, you can go up to here. If you guys want to elaborate on that screen, you press that menu button and that brings you into this. Go up one more, this is like information stuff. Again, if you press that, that will bring you into this screen. So you get your seatbelt, auto stop start, tire pressure, oil life, trailer light status, phone stuff, yada, yada, yada. Basically the screen that, if this was my car, this is the screen that I would personally leave it in. I like the digital speedometer readout when I'm driving down the road. It's just easier to read that than it would be to read the analog speedometer. Again, personal preference, something I thought I would mention. You get 4 HVAC vents on the dash. You get 1, that's 2, that's 3, and then that is 4 over there. It's pretty much vinyl wrapped from here up, but then right here you get some black plastic. And really that's about it for the dash. Moving over to here, with the Bronco Sport Heritage, you guys do get this 8-inch Sync 3 infotainment system with wired Apple CarPlay and wired Android Auto connectivity. Again, this is a Sync 3 system. This is what one of your screens look like. I want to highlight the driver assistant stuff, so you just click on that, and that will bring you into this screen. So basically, you have your lane keeping stuff, pre-collision stuff, rear view camera, blind spot monitoring, trailer sway control. This is to turn your parking sensors on or off. You get your cross traffic alert, you got the driver alert, and then you have your traction control on or off. This is what one of your screens looks like. This is what the other screen looks like. And then you got your shortcut buttons down here. You got your audio, phone, apps, and settings. Below that, you got your volume knob, you got your tuning knob. This is to turn the auto stop start system on or off. This is your hazard button. Let's take a listen to the hazards. That's what your hazards sound like. This will bring you into your tone settings. So if you press on that, it should bring you into your sound settings, which it does right here. So you got your treble, mid-range, bass, etc. I'm gonna X out of that, so press that button again. This is to go back on a track. This is to go forward on a track. That's to play or pause on a track. This is to turn the screen to a clock. Press that button again, that will turn the screen off. Press anywhere on the screen and the screen turns back on. And then that is your tuning knob. You get a great spot. You can set a phone down in here if you're driving on a road trip. You just throw your phone in there, no problem. Again, that's to turn the vehicle on or off. This lets you know if your passenger airbag is on or off. This is your climate control stack. So this is a single zone climate control vehicle. With the $1,145 Heritage convenience package, you guys do get heated front seats, both with 3 levels of adjustability. Moving our way down to here, you get a USB-C port, you get a USB-A port, you get a 12-volt power outlet, and your wireless charging pad. Wireless charging pad also comes a part of the Heritage convenience package, if you were wondering. And then working our way back, you get 2 cup holders. Right now, this is a Brita water bottle. It fits in there, no problem. Then you do get a rotary dial for your transmission. So push your foot on the brake, twist to the right to go in between your different gears. If you guys want to go into low, make sure you're in drive and then press on that L, and now you are in low. I'm not going to be in low because we're not really going anywhere, at least as of yet. This is your electronic parking brake. Pull up to engage it. So now the parking brake is engaged. If you guys want to disengage the parking brake, push your foot down on the brake, push down on that. Now the parking brake will disengage. And then this is your auto hold. So basically, if you're stuck in traffic and you're tired of holding your foot down on your brake yourself, come press on that button and the vehicle will literally hold you in place with its braking system. It's a really cool system. If you want to turn that off, make sure you're like moving, press that button again and it will turn off. So now it is on, now it is off. I guess to disengage it, I got to push my foot on the brake and push it again. That's how you disengage it. And then with the Bronco Sport Heritage, you get 5 different GOAT modes. GOAT stands for goes over any terrain. I'll show you guys the different modes. So right now we got normal mode, we got eco mode, we got sport mode, we got slippery and sand. I'm gonna leave it in normal because we're not doing anything as of yet. Then you do get that navy leather wrapped armrest. It is nicely padded and you get some red accent colored stitching. Opening this up, you get another USB-C port, another USB-A port, and actually a decent amount of storage space down in there. I would say about maybe half or 40% of my forearm fits down in there, which for a vehicle of this size, that's about right on par with storage space in the center console. One thing that I've always thought was pretty cool about the Bronco Sport is that you got a pocket on the sides of your seat. So you got one there, you got one here, and you can set your phone in there if that is something that you wanted to do. iPhone 14 Pro Max will fit in those pockets. So a big phone, in other words, would fit in those pockets. But over to here, you do not get a lockable glove box, but you get a decent amount of storage space in there. You can pretty much set what you need to. Owner's manual, napkins, straws, snacks, etc. It will fit in there. Then you get a good old-fashioned rear view mirror. You don't get any of that auto dimming stuff. But if you guys do want to do the dim feature, if there's somebody behind you with your headlights on, push forward on that. You guys know how the old-fashioned rear view mirrors work. At least I would hope so. And then behind here, this is for like your pre-collision braking and stuff like that. So your safety features hide behind here, basically reading the road and reading the windshield, etc., stuff like that. Then this is your driver light. This is your passenger light. They are both LED. If you guys want to turn on all the interior dome lights, that is the button you would press. Now the interior dome lights are on. If you don't want the lights to turn on when you open up the door, you flip that all the way to the right. Now I'm going to open up the door. None of the interior lights will turn on. If you flip that to the middle, now I'm going to let them turn off. Now when I open up the door, you guys can see the interior lights turn on. And then you get a great spot. You can set your sunglasses up top here. Again, I'm going to mention this again. This does have the $1,145 Heritage Convenience Package, which also gives you this universal garage door opener. So if you guys have a house with 3 different garage bays, you can open up those 3 different garage bays individually with those 3 different buttons. Opening this up, let's see, you get a vanity mirror. I know that, but you also do get 2 vanity lights. Okay, I'm actually pleasantly surprised by that. And then you can set registration, money, or any small paper product in this clip. Same thing goes for the visor. That visor is the exact same as the visor on this side, minus the universal garage door opener. Bluetooth mic pickup for your Bluetooth phone. The driver does not get an OPOOP handle, but all the other passengers get OPOOP handles, and I'll highlight that when we get into those rear seats. Now, a couple things I wanted to mention before we moved into those rear seats is that, again, I'm going to read over this again. I apologize if you guys are tired of hearing it, but this does have the $1,145 Heritage Convenience Package, which gives you an 8-way power driver seat, heated front seats. You get those rear parking sensors, you get the leather wrapped steering wheel, the universal garage door opener, and the wireless charging pad. Again, this does get 5 GOAT modes. This does get the mole straps with zipper grips, which I'll show you guys when we get into those second row seats. And then I already pointed this out, but you do get the pockets on the sides of the front seats. If you guys do want adaptive cruise control with stop and go, as well as evasive steering assist, and I think there's one more thing that I'm missing, you guys are going to have to opt for the $895 Ford Copilot 360 Assist Plus, which this one does not have. And then also, if you guys do want to get a power sunroof, that is also an additional $920. So this one does not have that either. A couple standard safety features I thought you guys might want to know about or hear is that this does get pre-collision assist with automatic emergency braking. It's get that lane keeping system, blind spot monitoring with rear cross traffic alert. All right, now I do want to highlight, I'm not going to throw the window sticker on screen yet. You got to bear with me here for a second. I am going to throw the 5-star safety ratings on screen. So this basically, it's 5 stars in every aspect except rollover. So rollover, you get 4 stars. So if you guys do end up getting an accident in your Bronco Sport, just know that you are in a very, very safe vehicle. Also, this is the same chassis. The Bronco Sport rides on the same chassis as the Maverick and the Ford Escape. Just something I thought I would point out. Some of you guys don't care. Some of you guys might care. Just something I thought I'd point out. Now I'm going to throw the rest of the window sticker on screen right now for you guys to take a look at the optional stuff, the standard stuff, the fuel economy, etc. But I'm just going to highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2023 Ford Bronco Sport Heritage Edition is spec'd is $36,515. Let me know what you guys think of that price in the comment section down below. But before we get into the driving portion of the video, I do want to show you guys what's going on in those second row seats. So popping open this door, I apologize about that honk, that's kind of annoying, but pretty much all new vehicles do that nowadays. Looks pretty much the exact same as what you would find in the front. Good amount of miscellaneous storage space down there. And then this is what your second row seats look like. I am pleasantly surprised to see that you do have a center fold down armrest with 2 cup holders. Very, very nice. It's also relatively nicely padded. It's padded enough to get you guys by. But let's step into these rear seats. Actually, these rear seats are surprisingly comfortable. I guess I should have known. Most Ford seats are pretty darn comfortable, and these are no different. These are still comfortable in the second row, which is nice. My sunglasses are falling down, but You get an O-Poop handle with a spot you can set your dry cleaning. Same thing goes for this side as well. This is your dome light for the second row seats, and these are the mole straps that I was talking about. So you can set tools, pens, anything that basically is like your pointer finger will fit down in there, but you guys kind of get the gist. Anything like that is like your finger, you can fit down in there. And then these are the zippers that I was telling you about. So basically seat back pocket, one behind the driver's seat, and then you get the same thing over here behind the passenger seat. You get that same zipper system, which is pretty cool. You know, I don't know what you would use the zippers for, regardless, but anyway, it's kind of cool that you do have the zippers. Then you get 2 HVAC vents, and then down here you get a USB-A port and a USB-C port. So you guys can see I am 5'9". I am adjusted behind myself, and I still got quite a bit of leg room, quite a bit of knee room, and quite a bit of headroom as well. So I feel like if I'm, you know, 6'3", I'd still be comfortable back here in these second row seats, but I'm not. I'm 5'9", and I'm comfortable sitting behind myself. But, you know, we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior of the Bronco Sport Heritage. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I'll see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, guys, and now onto the driving portion of the review, where we always start our videos here. We go over these speed bumps at 5 miles an hour, and we rate these vehicles going over the speed bumps on a scale of 1 to 10. Keep in mind, nothing will ever be a 10. Perfection doesn't exist in this world. So let's see what it'll do at 5 miles an hour over this second one. I'm gonna give this thing a 7.2. It's a little bit firm going over those speed bumps, but it soaks them up good enough. But on road, like in day-to-day stuff, it rides pretty well. But it was a little bit firm going over those speed bumps. But keep in mind that is still a good score. It is still a good score. It's not the best score that I've given, but it's still a good score. So now let's see how this thing does merging into traffic. And that was, I guess, I already know how it does merging into traffic, but that was one of the things that I noticed when I first got into this thing, is that, yes, this isn't like the Bronco Sport Heritage Limited, which gets the 2-liter EcoBoost. This thing still has more than enough get up and go, to be honest with you guys. Now, if you guys are like me and you guys always like to have additional power that's not really needed, then you might want to get the Heritage Limited, which again gives you the 2-liter as opposed to the 1.5-liter 3-cylinder. That's the 2-liter 4-cylinder EcoBoost Turbo. I believe that makes like 250 horsepower. I'll put it on screen what the horsepower and torque figures are. But again, I think this thing's got more than enough get up and go. But if you do like a little bit of extra power, then the 2-liter obviously, it's not going to hurt your case when it comes to the additional power. But again, I think this thing's got plenty of get up and go to it. I don't really feel like it needs any power, additional power, but it's always nice to have, like I mentioned. But another thing I wanted to say is that this thing actually like drives pretty nicely. Like, I just got out of an F-150 Platinum, basically loaded up, and before I left, I was speaking to the guys who work at the dealership, and I was like, hey, I probably should have done the Platinum second. And they're like, yeah, you probably should have. But after getting out of the Platinum and getting into this, granted, this is nowhere near as nice as the Platinum. Keep in mind, the Platinum's an $82,000 vehicle. This is a $36,000 vehicle and some change. So obviously there's going to be a big difference, but I wasn't like, I guess, I don't know what the word would be, but I wasn't like disappointed by the interior after getting out of the Platinum, getting into this, because it's still super comfortable. And I think what really makes this thing nice, I guess the initial feel of it, would be with that Heritage convenience package, which gives you the leather wrapped steering wheel. So I think the leather wrapped steering wheel, I know it's just one little thing, but I think that really makes the interior feel a lot more premium than if it just had like a vinyl wrapped steering wheel. It's nicely padded. It feels pretty premium. So I think that definitely helped, or aids, I guess, with the interior feel and why it feels, better than I guess I expected it to. I would be not only due in part to the leather wrapped steering wheel, but I feel like also with the heated seats and the wireless charging pad, which come with the Heritage convenience package. So if you guys want something that's, nice, but it's not like, it doesn't have all the features, I would suggest your one option being on the Heritage be the Heritage convenience package, because it pretty much gives you you know, the nice amenities that you want in a vehicle like this. But, you know, obviously with that package, you're not getting the adaptive cruise control. If you guys want to load one of these things up, then you might want to get the adaptive cruise control, which I think is the Ford Copilot 360 Assist Plus package, which is an $895 option. So if you want to spend the additional $895, again, that gives you the intelligent adaptive cruise control with stop and go. So if that is something you want to spend your money on, that might be an additional package that I'd probably recommend that package because, you know, it's less than $1,000 and it gives you adaptive cruise control. You can't go wrong with adaptive cruise control. However, when it comes to like Subaru products, Subaru gives you eyesight in every vehicle, which pretty much gives every vehicle from the base model all the way up to the fully loaded model adaptive cruise control. So it would have been nice to see adaptive cruise control, maybe not standard on this, but maybe included in the Heritage convenience package. Not really a big deal. But the auto stop start system turned the vehicle off. I'm gonna let that car go ahead a little bit, and I'm gonna show you guys, like, if there's a car coming behind you, I'm gonna let off the brake and floor it. You guys can see there's a little bit of a delay there. So that is just something to keep in mind with the auto stop start system, and that is why I'm not a fan of auto stop start in any vehicle. It doesn't matter if it's an F-150 Platinum, doesn't matter if it's a Lamborghini Aventador. I am not a fan of the auto stop start in any vehicle. In the F-150 Platinum I was just in, got a $50 credit because of the chip shortage. They deleted the auto stop start system, which, you know, like I said in that video, I wouldn't care if they gave me $0, $1, doesn't matter. I would be happy to have the auto stop start system deleted. And maybe they should make that an option on vehicles, because the reality is I think 90% of people, maybe that's a little bit ambitious, but I feel like a lot of people would opt to have the $50 credit for not having the auto stop start system. So let me know what you guys think of the auto stop start system in the comments. I personally am not a fan. I feel like a lot of you guys would probably agree with me. Now I'm going to go over one more option that I did mention on the interior part of the video that you guys can get, that this one again doesn't have, would be the $920 power sunroof. So you guys can see this one does not have that option, but if you guys do like yourself a sunroof, again, it's an additional $920. But right now, again, the auto stop start system turned the vehicle off. One thing I like is that very easy access into turning the auto stop start system off, which is what I would do every time I got into this vehicle. I would click that button right there, and that turns the auto stop start system off. So I like how it's just very easy access. You know, I don't have to go throughout a screen to turn that off, which on certain vehicles you do have to go throughout the screen, like Subaru products, you got to go in the screen. Granted, it is easy access into the screen because it's on the home screen and it's just a button right there, but it is nice just to have it as a physical hard button to turn that system off. But I'm going to do a mild acceleration here. I mean, you guys can see this thing actually has more than enough get up and go for it. You know, for a 3-cylinder, I think this thing makes more than enough power. You know, this car itself really doesn't weigh all that much. So this 3-cylinder, again, has more than enough power to get you up and going to where you need to be. Now, I do want to mention or talk about the Heritage Edition. So I know, and I mentioned this on the exterior part of the video, I know a lot of you guys are either going to love it or you're going to hate it. Personally, I am kind of in the middle, because I do think it is a pretty cool package to have. You know, the white wheels, you get the white roof, and, you know, the white pinstriping down the sides with the Bronco script. But I think it's pretty cool, you know what I mean? Initially, I was like, it kind of looks really ugly. And I guess one part of the Heritage that I'm personally not a fan of would be the red Bronco lettering on the front grille. I think they should have maybe gone black with that. Personal opinion, but I think it would have looked better if that was in black. But that's a very easy fix. You know, you take the grille off, you paint the Bronco lettering black, and then really other than that, I think this thing looks pretty sweet. You know, it's the Heritage Edition, so it's kind of an ode back to the original Broncos. So I think that's pretty cool. You know, I think, again, I think a lot of people are gonna love it, a lot of people are gonna hate it. Personally, for me, I kind of right there in the middle. I don't know, personally, I don't think I would get a Bronco Sport myself, but I can understand why people would get the Bronco Sport. You know, it's a very easy car to drive. It's a very easy car to park. It looks pretty cool compared to, you know, all the other SUVs on the market today. Pretty much all look, you know, the exact same. They all have the same shape and blah, blah, blah. Whereas this is different. So I can understand why there's an appeal to get one of these, because it's different from every other SUV on the market that pretty much, you guys look, same shape, same shape, same shape. You know what I'm saying? So this is different. You know, what other vehicle really on the road has a safari style roof? Now, one vehicle that I would say looks relatively similar to this, and that would be the Jeep Renegade. You know, they kind of have a very similar boxy style. So I think the Renegade is another vehicle on the market that looks like this, but the Renegade doesn't have the safari style roof, and the Renegade doesn't have a Heritage package like this. So I think the Heritage package, again, is pretty cool. I have driven a Jeep Renegade, and, you know, interior for interior, I would say that I kind of like the Uconnect system that's in, like, you know, the higher end Renegades as compared to this. But I still think, you know, interior quality for interior quality, they're right on par with each other. So this thing, really nice. I like that you got the wireless, or the wired Apple CarPlay, wired Android Auto. It's nice to just have the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto to use when you need it. The other thing I like is the wireless charging pad. So overall, you get the blind spot monitoring as standard. You get the backup camera as standard. You do get the rear view sensors with the Heritage convenience package. So again, recommended option, Heritage convenience package. You can skip all the other options, but I think you might want to get that package if you guys are going to get the Heritage. But, you know, there's not really much more to say other than you do get that kind of like line, or I guess bulge right there in the hood on this side. You get the bulge over there on that side. And again, you guys can see that color, that your color choice at all times, because you can actually see the hood on this vehicle, where honestly on a lot of new vehicles you can't really see the hood. Basically, like on a lot of the new vehicles, they basically design the vehicle so the hood kind of goes not like straight down, but on a lot of vehicles you can't see the hood. So I kind of like how you can see the hood. You can see the color choice. So if you get a color that you don't like, you're probably going to be hating that color every single day, because you can see it every single time you get into the vehicle, which is why the Robin Egg Blue is a pretty cool color. But really, there's not much more to say. You know, it's pretty well insulated from the outside world. The sound system, you know, the sound system is good enough. Actually, it could be better, but it also could be worse. So I think it's actually a pretty good sound system for what it is. But really, not much more to say on this thing. So really, that's it for today's video. If you guys are interested in this particular Bronco Sport Heritage, I'll have Matt's information in the description box down below if you guys do end up wanting to purchase this exact one. But that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm really trying to hit 10,000 subscribers, and I cannot do that without your guys' help. We are literally so close to 10,000, less than 1,000 subscribers away from 10,000. So again, if you guys enjoyed the video today, please take a second, give the video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. But I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.